everyone. Welcome back to From Training to Impact, the podcast where we turn learning moments into measurable movements. I'm your host, Ali Nazir, and if you have been with me for a while, you know we like to take those fuzzy learning and development concepts and make them a little more real. In episode 1, we talked about how training alone isn't learning, but application. In episode 2, we tackled the smiley face trap, those happy sheets post training surveys that don't always mean much change. And today, we are diving into the next big piece: how to track impact before it's too late. So, most organizations focus on what we call lag measures. Things like customer satisfaction went up, complaints went down, sales improved by 5%. And that's a great news. But guess what? It's an old news. Lag measures tell you what happened after the fact. By the time those numbers show up, the training is long done. The donuts are gone and the learners have moved on. So, what's a lead measure really? See, a lead measure, on the other hand, is an early clue that real change is starting to take hold. It's the stuff you can observe, track, or coach right after the training. The small steps that predict bigger outcomes. So, let's say you just ran a customer service excellence workshop. Your lag measures might be higher satisfaction scores or fewer complaints next quarter, but your lead measures are, for example, within 2 weeks, reps would use the 3R method, the recognize, reassure, and resolve in at least 70% of their calls. So, see, the first tells you whether the game was won or lost. The second tells you if the team's actually practicing it. So, it's important to understand the distinction. See, the first or the lag measure are like the final score on the board. So by the time you see it, the game's already over. But the lead measures are your practical reps. They tell you if they are building the muscles that'll win the next match. So if you only watch the scoreboard, you can't change the game. But if you track the reps, you can actually shape the outcome. And here's a quick tip. Right after your training, have the learners pick 2 or 3 lead behaviors to practice that week. So, for example, I will use the 3R method with at least one tough customer per day, or I will log one success story by. So, see, these are the small visible actions, not a big data project. So when tracked through your LMS, team channels, or even a shared doc, they become early proof that learning is sticking. If you see those behaviors spike, you already know the lag measures, the satisfaction, the retention, the productivity will follow. It's like reading tomorrow's headline today. Isn't that magical, right? And that brings us to our next big question. How do you find those right measures in the first place? See, not every skill can be neatly tracked, and not every number tells the truth. So, in our next episode, we'll decode how to spot the right signals, the one that prove real learning is taking root without drowning in data. We'll talk about how to turn a soft skill like empathy or coaching into something you can actually measure. So, if you have ever wondered, okay, but what exactly should I measure? Now, that's your episode. So here it is, my friends. Thanks for turning in to From Training to Impact. If this gave you a few aha moments, share it with your L&D friends who still lives by end of course surveys. And remember, don't wait for results to show up. Look for the signs that change has already begun. See you in the next one. Happy training.